covering the entire Piedmont Triad and everywhere you are. WXII 12 News at 6 starts now.
The sun peaked out today, and we hope you got a chance to get out and enjoy it, because after a brief break, some winter weather is coming back to the Piedmont Triad. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I'm Erica Miller in the Weather Center now with meteorologist Michelle Kennedy. And Michelle, here we go again.
Yes, you know, a freezing rain advisory this time, where at least we're not talking snow.
Right.
And folks were hoping for snow and not getting. Other threats, it's next.
And we wanted to pass this along to you. Schools in Patrick County, Virginia are now on a 2-hour delay for tomorrow. There could be more school delays coming in, so remember, for a complete list of closings and delays, just go to our website, WXII12.com. A horrifying scene in Brazil after a fire breaks out inside a nightclub. The death toll now stands at 232. Dozens more injured after that fire started at a club in the southern city of Santa Maria. We get the latest now from NBC's Duncan Golestani. Now, that fire recalled a similar incident 10 years ago in West Warwick, Rhode Island. 100 people died when a fire spread in a nightclub during a pyrotechnic show put on by the rock band Great White. The cause of a weekend fire that destroyed a home in Guilford County remains under investigation tonight, and now we're hearing from the couple who lost everything. Our Rob Wu is live in Brown Summit tonight, and Rob, this is a horrible loss.
Yeah, Erica, we spoke to the homeowner today, an incredibly resilient guy, and I wouldn't bet against it. Erica, back to you.
No doubt they will come back. Thanks so much, Rob. The murder trial of the man accused of killing a North Carolina teenager resumes tomorrow in Baltimore, Maryland. 28-year-old Michael Johnson is charged in the 2010 murder of 16-year-old Felicia Barnes. She was visiting family over the Christmas holiday when she disappeared. Her body was found months later in a river. Johnson is the ex-boyfriend of Barnes' sister. Opening statements began on Friday. A woman is in jail accused of stabbing a man in Thomasville. Naima Henderson is charged with assault. Police say she stabbed the victim in the chest yesterday on Martin Luther King Drive. His name has not been released, but we're told he was taken to Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center for treatment. Now, you may remember it was just last week that someone else was stabbed in that same area of Thomasville. A bizarre crime spree in Rockingham County lands a juvenile in jail. Just before 3 this morning, Eden police officers were called to Harrington Way near Bethlehem Church Road for a report of a vehicle down an embankment. Police say officers didn't find anyone inside that vehicle, but did find out the vehicle was stolen. Moments later, we're told the juvenile got into their police cruiser and took off. That cruiser was spotted in Mayodan by a police officer there, and that officer's car was then hit by that stolen cruiser. The juvenile was eventually arrested and tonight is facing several charges. After an armed standoff at a church, police in Salisbury were able to arrest a man convicted of stealing more than $2 million from friends and charities. The standoff ended last night at the Maupin Avenue Church with 52-year-old John Knox Bridges in handcuffs. He was set to be sentenced Friday in Charlotte on money laundering convictions from February of last year, but he never showed up. A bizarre story out of New York State. Authorities removed dozens of dead cats and 99 cats that were still alive from inside the home you see there. Some of the dead cats and kittens were found inside the freezer. Animal rescue officials say they have never seen anything like this. The house has now been condemned. Looking ahead this week, North Carolina lawmakers will be getting down to business. The General Assembly picks back up Wednesday. Republicans control both the House and the Senate and plan to overhaul North Carolina's unemployment insurance system and change the tax code. Lawmakers are also expected to pass a voter ID law and a 2-year budget. Immigration reform is making its return to the stage this week. President Obama has a plan, and so does an influential group of senators. Momentum is building to get something done, and lawmakers from both sides of the aisle say they are optimistic more now than they have been in years. Brian Moore has the story for us from Washington.
And more, NBC News, Washington.
U.S. lawmakers are speaking out about a need for change in the nation's gun legislation. Today, U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein of California talked about a assault weapons ban proposal introduced last week. The ban would stop the sale, transfer, importation, and manufacturing of specialty firearms and certain semi-automatic rifles. Would also limit the number of rounds a magazine can hold to 10.
What does both?
Senator Feinstein helped push the previous assault weapons ban through Congress back in 1993. That expired in 2004. Earlier this month, President Barack Obama said his legislative agenda to curb gun violence would include such a ban. Casey Anthony back in the news tonight. Coming up on WXII 12 News at 6, find out what the acquitted mother has filed in a Florida courtroom now. Also, some winter fun in the Piedmont. Check this out. A look at how folks enjoyed the wintry mix that came our way.
And just when you were done,
Triad's #1 news, WXII 12 News, with Erica Miller and meteorologist Michelle Kennedy.
Welcome back. Casey Anthony has filed for bankruptcy protection in Florida. One of Anthony's attorneys confirmed the mother, who was acquitted in the death of her 2-year-old daughter back in 2011, has filed the paperwork for Chapter 7 bankruptcy on Friday. According to the court document, Anthony says she owes almost $800,000 in debt, but has less than $1,100 to her name. Most of that money is owed to Jose Baez, Anthony's attorney in her murder case. Before you put your bills or letters in the mail tomorrow, a reminder: the price for first-class stamps went up today to 46 cents. Any Forever stamps you bought, of course, at the lower price are still valid. Another change, though: postcard stamps now cost 33 cents, and there's a new option for international mail. The Postal Service now offers a global Forever stamp for $1.10. It's good for first-class mail to anywhere in the world. The price for priority mail is also increasing, but free tracking is now being offered. Also going up, the average price of a gallon of gas has gone up 2 cents from 2 weeks ago. According to the Lundberg survey, a gallon of regular now stands at $3.34. Here in the Triad, gas prices are above the national average at $3.37. Friday's storm made for some slippery driving conditions, but the ice also made for some good sledding. Ashley Duggins and King posted this video on our WXII 12 Facebook page. She's flying down the hill on the ice, and she's brave enough to go around the turns, as you see, and steer around some of the obstacles out there as well. She looks like she's having fun.
Oh yeah, now this is terrifying. You know, from a mom's perspective, I can see Cody going, yeah, let's sled like this, too. And how about helmet, wrist guards, anything to protect you from that ice, right?
Nah, kids are resilient, right? I'm sure she was fine and looked like fun.
Yeah, she looked like she had a great time. Well, tomorrow morning we've got a little bit of ice out there, and that's going to be a concern for us on the roads. And we know that we're not so resilient, any of us. It's kind of tough to drive on ice, period. All right.
You're watching WXII 12. And now, the Modern Automotive Sports Report.
Welcome back. If you follow college basketball, that is, primarily the Atlantic Coast Conference, you would know that the past 7 days proved to be a wild week here in the ACC. Let's take a look at what's in store for this upcoming week. After dropping one at Miami, Duke will not be the #1 team in America come tomorrow. The Blue Devils will make a stop at the Joel Coliseum on Wednesday night to take on the young Wake Forest Demon Deacons. These two met earlier in the month, with Duke coming out on top by 22 points. Wake Forest will look to bounce back from yesterday's 20-point loss to Georgia Tech. Over in Chapel Hill, North Carolina will return to action Tuesday at Boston College. The Heels had their 3-game win streak snapped last night at NC State. Carolina sits in the middle of the pile in the ACC standings, and with another conference loss, Roy Williams may need to hit the panic button. NC State, on the other hand, will look to keep its momentum alive when they travel to Virginia to take on the Cavaliers. This will be a pivotal game for the Wolfpack. Both teams enter with 2 conference losses, and a loss would drop NC State 3 games behind Miami for the conference lead. Coming off a close win against Samford, the UNCG Spartans returned to the SoCon action today against Chattanooga. Wes Miller taking part in the Coaches versus Cancer Suit and Sneakers weekend. Looking good. The Mocs got out to a fast start. Here's Rodrigo White getting the basket for the easy layup. Later, it's Sam Watson powering his way inside. The Spartans were held scoreless until the 15-minute mark, but Trevis Simpson had the magic touch. He knocked down jumper after jumper. The senior finished with career-high 41 points today. That ties the UNCG single-game scoring mark. The Spartans' hot shooting was too much for the Mocs. They go on to win 77-69. UNCG will take on conference foe Elon Thursday at the Greensboro Coliseum. And a programming note for you: Super Bowl next week. Tonight, though, the Pro Bowl starts at 7 o'clock right here on WXII 12. And that does it for us. We will see you back here at 10 and 11.